At my son's wedding, they asked me to wait outside. The doors were already open. Music, soft voices, low. I could see the lights from the hallway. Warm, golden. Like a place I used to belong. "I'm sorry," the coordinator said, "they're not ready for you yet." She didn't meet my eyes. I nodded. Didn't ask anything. Just stepped back. People walked past me. Dressed in silk perfume trailing behind them. They smiled. Not at me. Through me. I checked the time. 10 minutes past the ceremony. I looked down at my hands. Still holding the envelope. Thick. Cream paper. My name printed on it. I had picked this venue 2 months ago. Back then, she smiled at everything I said. Nodded. Agreed. Whatever you think is best. That change. Quietly. The guest list grew longer. My suggestions got shorter. The dress. She chose one I had never seen. White. Simple. Not the one we picked together. I didn't ask why. The music inside shifted. Softer now. Like something had already begun. I took a step toward the door. The coordinator moved slightly. Not blocking me. Just enough. "They'll call you," she said. I stepped back again. A man walked past me. Laughed loudly. I almost missed it, he said. He went straight in. No one stopped him. I looked at the guest list by the door. Names in gold. Neatly printed. Organized. I found mine. It wasn't missing. But it wasn't where I expected. Row 4. Not front. I stared at it for a moment. Then folded the envelope once. Carefully. Inside. A receipt. Final payment. Sent 3 days ago. I slipped it back in. The doors opened wider. Music rose. Someone inside said, "Where's his mom?" No one answered. I didn't move. I just stood there. Holding the envelope. Waiting for someone to remember. No one called my name. I walked in anyway. The music was already playing. Soft, controlled. Like nothing had been delayed. Everyone was seated. Heads turned, just for a second. Then back to the aisle. I followed their eyes. My son stood at the end. Straight posture. Hands clasped. He didn't look at me. I stopped walking. Just for a moment. Then continued. Row 1. Her parents. Smiling. Proud. Row 2. Friends. Cameras ready. Row 3. Colleagues. People I had never met. Row 4. My name. Printed. Small. I sat down. The chair made a sound. Too loud for the moment. No one turned. The ceremony started. She walked in. White dress. Not the one we chose. The lace was different. Simpler. Colder. She held her father's arm. Not once did she look toward my side. I watched. Hands folded. Envelope resting on my lap. The officiant spoke. Words about family. Support. Love. My son nodded. At the right moments. When they said, "Who gives this couple their blessing?" Her father stepped forward. Silence. A pause. Brief. Controlled. No one looked at me. The ceremony continued. Smooth. Planned. Rings exchange. Vows spoken. I promise to build a life with you. My son's voice was steady. I remembered another night. He was 12. Fever. Burning. I stayed awake. Counting every breath. He held my hand then. Tight. Now. His hands held hers. Applause. Everyone stood. I stayed seated. 1 second longer. Then stood with them. They walked past. Smiling. Receiving hands. Congratulations. When they reached my row. They slowed. My son glanced at me. Quick. Almost accidental. "Mom," he said. Quiet. Like a word that didn't belong there. She didn't stop. Her fingers tightened around his arm. Just slightly. They kept walking. I nodded. Once. Sat back down. The room began to shift. Chairs moving. Voices rising. Reception time. I opened the envelope. Carefully. The receipt was still there. Folded once. Behind it. Another paper. Printed. Signed. The venue contract. One line highlighted. Final approval. Authorized by. My name. I slid it back in. Across the room? The planner was speaking to someone. Lower voice now. Less certain. I stood up. Not fast. Not slow. And walked toward her. She saw me this time. Didn't smile. Is everything okay? She asked. I placed the envelope on the table. Between us. I just wanted to confirm. I said. My voice didn't change. Who exactly approved today's seating? The planner didn't answer immediately. Her eyes dropped to the envelope. Then to the signature. My name. She inhaled. Small, careful. There were last-minute changes. She said. I nodded. I see. Behind us. Glasses clinked. Laughter started. The reception had begun. I didn't turn around. Who made those changes? I asked. She hesitated. Just a second too long. Then. The bride. I looked past her. Across the room? My daughter-in-law stood between guests. Smiling. Accepting congratulations. Her hand rested lightly on my son's arm. Always there. I picked up the envelope. Tapped it once on the table. Straightened the edge. And payment? I asked. The planner blinked. What about it? Who confirmed it? She swallowed. You did. I nodded again. Then I assume I paused. Authority stayed the same. She didn't answer. Didn't need to. A staff member approached her. Whispered something. Her posture changed. Tighter now. I'll need to check with management, she said. Of course, I replied. I stepped aside. Let her pass. She moved quickly. Too quickly. I turned. The room was brighter now. Music louder. People gathered around the couple. Phones raised. Glasses lifted. I walked back. Slow. Measured. Table 17. Still there. Still waiting. I didn't sit. Instead, I placed the envelope on the table. Flat. Centered. My sister watched me. Didn't speak. She just stood up beside me. Across the room? The planner returned. With a man in a dark suit. Manager. They spoke quietly. But their eyes kept moving. Toward me. Toward the table. The man nodded once. Then walked toward the stage. The microphone squeaked. Music softened. Not stopped. Just lowered. Enough for people to notice. Ladies and gentlemen, he said. A few heads turned. Then more. There's been a small clarification. My daughter-in-law stopped smiling. Just for a second. My son looked confused. The manager continued. Before we proceed with dinner. He glanced at a paper in his hand. Then at me. We'd like to properly acknowledge. The room grew quieter. The person responsible for today's event. No one moved. No one spoke. I stayed where I was. Didn't step forward. Didn't raise my hand. The envelope remained on the table. Unopened. Unhidden. The manager lifted the paper slightly. My name, reflected in the stage light. My daughter-in-law's fingers tightened again. Around his arm. This time. My son didn't move. He just stood there. Looking, not at her. But at me. No one clapped. The manager lowered the paper. Silence spread. Slow, uneven. My name, still hanging in the air. I didn't move. Didn't step forward. Across the room? My daughter-in-law smiled again. Too quickly. She reached for the microphone. Of course, she said, light voice. Steady. We're grateful for everyone who supported us. She didn't say my name. Not again. Just moved on. Now, let's enjoy the evening. Music rose. Louder this time. People shifted. Relief. Conversations restarted. Like nothing had happened. I picked up the envelope. Opened it. Took out the contract. Walked toward the stage. Not fast. Not slow. Each step, clear. The manager saw me. Stepped aside. I didn't look at him. I looked at her. She was already watching. Smile still there. But smaller now. I placed the contract on the podium. Flat. The microphone caught the sound. Soft. But enough. I think, I said. My voice didn't rise. Didn't fall. We should be precise. The room quieted again. Not all at once. But piece by piece. People turned. My son stepped closer. Mom, he said. I didn't answer. I pointed. One line. Highlighted. Final approval. Silence. The manager leaned in. Read it. Then nodded. Once. My daughter-in-law didn't move. Her hand, no longer on his arm. Just hanging at her side. I stepped back. Gave them space. Didn't take the microphone. Didn't need to. The manager cleared his throat. For clarification, he said, voice lower now. All arrangements. He paused. Were authorized under one name. He didn't repeat it. He didn't have to. People were already looking. Not at the stage. At me. My son turned fully this time. No one between us. He opened his mouth. Closed it again. I held his gaze. Just for a second. Then I nodded. Once. Like I used to. When he got something right. I picked up the contract. Folded it. Carefully. Slid it back into the envelope. The music started again. Louder than before. Almost forced. I stepped down from the stage. Walked past table 17. Didn't stop. Didn't sit. The exit was already open. Cool air moved in. I walked through it. Behind me. Voices tried to recover. But something had shifted. Not loud. Just enough. Enough to be remembered. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The air outside was cooler. Quieter. No music. No voices. Just the sound of the door closing behind me. I didn't stop walking. The parking lot was almost empty. Lights flickered above. Soft, distant. I reached my car. Paused. The envelope still in my hand. I looked at it. Didn't open it again. Didn't need to. A voice behind me. Mom. I didn't turn immediately. Footsteps approached. Slower now. Then stopped. A few steps away. I didn't know, he said. I faced forward. Keys in my hand. Still. They said, everything was handled. He continued. I nodded. I know. Silence. I thought you didn't want to be involved, he said. That made me turn. Not fast. Just enough. His face looked different. Older. Or maybe just clearer. I was there, I said. My voice stayed even. Every meeting. He didn't answer. His eyes dropped. To the floor plans, the menu, the flowers. I paused. You signed nothing. Silence again. Longer this time. I should have checked, he said. I didn't respond. Didn't need to. Behind him. The doors opened. Music spilled out. Loud. Forced. She stepped outside. He turned slightly. Not fully. Just enough to see her. She didn't come closer. Stayed near the entrance. Watching. I can fix this, he said quickly. I shook my head. No. One word. He froze. It's already finished. He looked back at me. What do you mean? I held up the envelope. Not offering it. Just showing it. Everything ended when it was signed. He stared at it. Didn't reach for it. Good. Behind him. She crossed her arms. Still watching. Still silent. I opened the car door. Sat down. He stepped closer. Are you leaving? He asked. I looked at him. For a second longer this time. I already did. I closed the door. Not hard. Just enough. The engine started. He didn't move. Didn't knock. Didn't speak. In the mirror? He stood between the lights and the dark. Not choosing either. I pulled out. Slow. The venue grew smaller behind me. The music faded. Then disappeared. At the first light. I stopped. Looked ahead. Empty road. I exhaled. Not heavy. Just steady. The envelope rested on the seat beside me. Untouched. For the first time that night. Nothing was waiting. I drove forward. The road stayed quiet. No cars behind me. No headlights chasing. Just the sound of the engine, steady. At the second light, my phone lit up. His name. I didn't answer. It stopped. Then started again. I let it rain. The screen went dark. I kept driving. 5 minutes later, it lit up again. A message this time. I didn't open it. Not yet. I turned into my street. Same houses. Same lights. Nothing had changed. I parked. Sat there, for a moment longer. The envelope still beside me. Unmoved. I picked it up. Ran my thumb along the edge. Then opened it. The contract. The receipt. And one more page. Folded. I unfolded it. A copy of a transfer. Dated that morning. Refund request. Submitted. Approved. My name at the bottom. I folded it back. Carefully. The front door opened. Light from inside spilled out. My sister stepped onto the porch. She didn't ask anything. Just looked at me. Then at the envelope. "You left early," she said. I nodded. She stepped aside. Held the door open. I walked in. The house was quiet. Too quiet. She closed the door behind me. Locked it. "Did they say anything?" she asked. I placed the envelope on the table. They didn't need to. She waited. Didn't push. Good. I sat down. The chair felt familiar. Solid. Mine. Across from me, she pulled out another chair. Sat. We didn't speak. Not for a while. My phone buzzed again. This time, I picked it up. Opened the message. "I'm coming over." I read it once. Then again. I placed the phone face down. "No," I said. My sister looked at me. I shook my head. "Not tonight." Silence settled again. Outside, a car slowed. Then stopped. Headlights cut across the wall. I didn't move. Didn't stand. Didn't go to the door. A knock. Once. Then again. "Mom." His voice. Closer now. I stayed seated. Hands resting on the table. The envelope between them. Another knock. Softer. "I just want to talk." I looked at the envelope. Then at the door. Then back at my hands. I stood up. Walked halfway. Stopped. Not at the door. Just close enough. "I heard you," I said. My voice didn't rise. Didn't soften. A pause. "I didn't know," he repeated. I nodded. Even though he couldn't see it. "I know." Silence. Then. "Can I come in?" I looked at the handle. Didn't touch it. "Not tonight." Another pause. Longer. Then footsteps. Fading. The car started. Drove away. I stood there. Until the sound disappeared. Then turned back. The table. The chair. The envelope. All still there. Exactly where I left them. I sat down again. This time. I didn't look at the door. I just sat. And let the quiet stay. Morning came quietly. No alarms. Just light slipping through the curtains. I was already awake. Sitting at the same table. The envelope still there. Unmoved. My sister stood by the window. Coffee in her hand. She didn't ask if I slept. She already knew. I reached for the envelope. Opened it again. Same papers. Same lines. Nothing had changed. That was the point. My phone buzzed. This time. I picked it up immediately. 5 missed calls. 3 messages. I opened the first. "Please talk to me." The second. "She's upset." The third. Longer. "I didn't see it happening. I should have. I know you were there. I know what you did. I just didn't look." I read it once. Then locked the screen. Placed it down. My sister turned. "He came back?" she asked. I nodded. She didn't say anything else. Good. Outside, cars passed. Normal morning. People going somewhere. I stood up. Walked to the sink. Turned on the water. Let it run. Cold. I washed my hands. Slow. Careful. Like something needed to come off. It didn't. I dried them. Turned back. The envelope was still on the table. Exactly where I left it. I picked it up. Walked to the living room. The cabinet in the corner. Old. Solid. I opened it. Inside. Files. Folders. Years of papers. Receipts. Documents. Quiet proof of things done. I placed the envelope inside. Didn't push it to the back. Just set it there. Closed the door. My phone buzzed again. I didn't look this time. I walked back to the table. Sat down. My sister joined me. "Are you going to see him?" she asked. I shook my head. "Not like this." She nodded. "Understood." Across the room? The clock ticked. Steady. Unbothered. Time moving, whether anyone was ready or not. I stood again. Walked to the door. Opened it. The morning air felt different. Clearer. No noise from last night. No music. No voices. Just space. I stepped outside. Looked down the street. Empty. For now. I closed the door behind me. Not locking it. Just closing it. Inside. Everything stayed where it was. Untouched. I walked to the gate. Stopped. Looked back once. Not at the house. At the quiet. Then I turned. And kept walking. No one called this time. No one stopped me. For the first time. That felt right. The street was still quiet. Morning light, clean, uninterrupted. I walked without checking the time. No destination. Just distance. At the corner, a small cafe. Same place. Years ago, he used to wait for me there. After school. I stopped. Looked inside. 2 tables occupied. No one I knew. Good. I went in. The bell above the door rang. Soft. The girl at the counter smiled. "Morning." I nodded. "Black coffee," I said. She didn't ask anything else. I paid. Cash. Sat near the window. The cup was warm. I held it. Didn't drink. Outside, cars passed. People moving. Normal. My phone buzzed again. I looked this time. One message. From him. "I'm outside your house." I stared at it. Then another. "She won't come with me." Pause. I told her I needed to fix this first. I placed the phone down. Didn't reply. Across the glass. My reflection. Still. Unchanged. The door behind me opened. I didn't turn. Footsteps. Slow. Then stopped. "Mom." I closed my eyes. Just once. Then opened them. Still didn't turn. He walked closer. Sat across from me. Didn't touch the table. Didn't reach for anything. I went back, he said. I nodded slightly. They were asking questions. I said nothing. They showed the contract. Silence. They know now. I lifted the cup. Took a small sip. Still warm. I should have known before, he said. I set the cup down. You should have looked, I said. My voice stayed even. He lowered his eyes. I thought she handled everything. I didn't respond. I thought you didn't want to be involved. I looked at him now. Finally. I was there, I said. Same words. Different place. He nodded. I see that now. Silence stretched. No tension. Just space. I asked her why, he said. I waited. She said it was her wedding too. I nodded. She wanted control. I took another sip. She had it, I said. He didn't argue. Didn't defend. Good. She asked me to choose. He said. I didn't react. She said if I stood up for you. He stopped. I watched him. It would ruin everything. A pause. Long. And? I asked. He looked up. At the wedding? His voice lowered. I didn't choose. I nodded. I saw that. Silence again. He leaned back. Exhaled. I left her there. I didn't respond. I came here. I looked at the cup. Half empty now. Why? I asked. He didn't answer immediately. Then, because you didn't stay. I held his gaze. Just for a second. Then looked away. Outside, the street moved on. Unaware. Unchanged. Inside. Nothing felt rushed. Nothing needed fixing. Not yet. I reached for the cup again. This time. I finished it. The cup was empty. I set it down. No sound this time. He watched my hands. Like he used to. When he was small. Waiting for an answer. I left her there, he said again. I didn't ask where. I already knew. At the reception? I said. He nodded. They kept going, he said. Music, dinner, speeches. A pause. Like nothing changed. I looked out the window. Cars passed. People crossed the street. No one noticed anything. They always do, I said. He didn't respond. I told her I needed time. He continued. I turned back. She didn't like that. I nodded once. She said it was supposed to be our day. I held his gaze. It was, I said. Silence. But you made it something else. He looked down. Hands clasped now. I didn't mean to. I didn't answer. Didn't soften it. Meaning didn't change what happened. He knew that. I came home, he said. I waited. She stayed. Another pause. With her parents. I nodded. Of course she did. They asked questions, he added. I didn't ask which ones. They saw the screen, he said. The manager. The contract. My name. They didn't know, he said. I believed that. They thought it was her, he added. I nodded again. Everyone did. Silence settled between us. Not heavy. Just clear. What are you going to do? I asked. He didn't answer immediately. Good. He was thinking now. Not reacting. I don't know yet, he said. I watched him. No, I replied. My voice stayed steady. You do. He looked up. Confused. Then, still. Like something clicked. I can't go back like this, he said. I didn't nod. Didn't approve. Just listened. I can't pretend I didn't see it. Silence. And I can't ask you to pretend either. I held his gaze. That was new. I won't, I said. Simple. Clear. He exhaled. Slow. Relief, almost. But not quite. She's waiting for me to come back, he said. I picked up the napkin. Folded it once. She will, I replied. And if you don't? I met his eyes. Then she'll decide for you. He didn't like that. Good. He needed to hear it. What would you do? He asked. I didn't answer right away. I looked outside again. The same street. Same people. Nothing had stopped. Nothing had waited. I already did it, I said. He frowned slightly. I stood up. Reached for my bag. Left money on the table. More than needed. For what? He asked. I looked at him. For not staying where I wasn't seen. Silence. He didn't move. Didn't stop me. Good. I stepped toward the door. The bell rang again. Same soft sound. I paused. Just for a second. Then. You don't need to come with me, I said. He stayed seated. Hands still on the table. Thinking. Finally. I opened the door. Light came in. Clear. Unfiltered. I stepped out. Didn't look back. This time. I knew he wouldn't call. The door closed behind me. The bell faded. The street felt brighter now. Same road. Different weight. I walked without stopping. No calls. No footsteps behind me. Good. At the end of the block. My phone buzzed. I didn't check it. Not immediately. I kept walking. Another vibration. Then silence. I stopped. Took the phone out. One message. From him. I understand. I read it once. No second message followed. No, come back. No, wait. Just that. I locked the screen. Slipped it back into my bag. The wind moved lightly. Carried nothing with it. No voices. No music. Just air. I crossed the street. A car slowed. Let me pass. I didn't hurry. Didn't wave. Just kept walking. At the next corner. A reflection in the glass. I stopped. Looked at it. Same face. Same posture. Nothing added. Nothing taken. I adjusted my sleeve. Smoothed the fabric. Then moved again. Back at the house. The door was still unlocked. I pushed it open. Inside. Quiet. My sister looked up. Didn't ask. I nodded. That was enough. She went back to her seat. I walked to the cabinet. Opened it. The envelope still there. Exactly where I placed it. I took it out. Held it for a moment. Then moved it to the back. Not hidden. Just no longer in front. Closed the cabinet. The room felt different. Less waiting. I sat down. Hands on the table. Empty now. No papers. No proof. Nothing to show. Nothing to explain. My phone buzzed again. I looked. A new message. Unknown number. I opened it. Can we talk? No name. But I knew. I stared at it. Didn't type. Didn't delete. Just let it sit there. Across the room? The clock moved. Steady. Unaffected. I placed the phone face down. Didn't answer. Not today. Maybe not tomorrow. The house stayed quiet. No knocks. No interruptions. Just space. I leaned back. Closed my eyes. Not tired. Just still. Outside. Life continued. Inside. So did I. No announcement. No audience. Just a decision. Already made. The message stayed on the screen. Can we talk? I turned the phone over. Face down. No reply. Not now. The room stayed quiet. My sister moved in the kitchen. Dishes, water, small sounds. Normal things. I stood up. Walked to the cabinet again. Opened it. The envelope was still there. Back corner. Where it belonged. I didn't take it out. Just looked. Then closed the door. That was enough. My phone buzzed again. Short. Once. I picked it up this time. Same number. Another message. I'm outside. I didn't move. Didn't go to the door. Didn't check the window. I already knew. The knock came. Soft. Not like last night. Slower. Careful. I know you're home. Her voice. Even through the door, controlled. I walked halfway. Stopped. Same place as before. Not at the handle. Just close enough. Another knock. We need to talk. I said nothing. A pause. Longer this time. I didn't know you paid for everything, she said. I leaned slightly against the wall. Cold. Steady. You never told me, she added. I closed my eyes. Just once. Then opened them. I was there, I said. My voice didn't change. Through the door, silence. Then. That's not the same. I almost smiled. Not fully. Just a small shift. It is, I said. Another pause. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I didn't answer. Meaning didn't matter. She knew that now. You embarrassed me, she said. I straightened. Looked at the door. No, I replied. Calm. I didn't. Silence. Then. They all saw it. I nodded. Even though she couldn't see. They saw the truth. Her breath shifted. Sharper. That wasn't necessary. I let that sit. Then. Neither was table 17. Silence again. Longer. Heavier. No response this time. Good. I didn't think it mattered, she said finally. I stepped closer. Still not touching the door. It didn't, I said. A pause. Until it did. No answer. Just breathing. Then footsteps. One step back. Then another. I'll fix this, she said. I didn't stop her. Didn't respond. The steps faded. A car door. Engine. Gone. I stayed there. For a moment longer. Then turned away. Back to the table. My sister looked at me. Didn't ask. I shook my head once. That was enough. I sat down. Hands steady. The room unchanged. Quiet. Clear. No voices outside. No messages now. Nothing waiting. For the first time. There was nothing left to prove. And nothing left to say. The house stayed quiet. Not empty. Just settled. Morning turned into afternoon. Light moved across the floor. Slow. Nothing interrupted it. I stayed at the table. Not waiting. Just there. My phone didn't ring again. No messages. No knocks. Good. By evening, the light faded. My sister turned on the lamp. Soft glow. Familiar. I stood up. Walked to the cabinet. Opened it one last time. The envelope. Still in the back. Unmoved. I took it out. Held it. Not tight. Just enough. Then walked to the fireplace. Old. Quiet. I set the envelope down. Opened it. Papers inside. Contract. Receipt. Transfer. Proof. All of it. I looked at each page. One by one. No anger. No rush. Just recognition. Then I folded them. Carefully. Placed them back. Closed the envelope. And left it there. Not in the fire. Not destroyed. Just no longer carried. Behind me. My sister watched. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. I turned off the lamp. The room dimmed. Calm. I walked toward the window. Outside, the streetlights were on. Same street. Same houses. Nothing had changed. And yet, everything had. My phone buzzed once. I didn't pick it up. Not this time. I already knew. Some things don't need answers. Some things already gave them. I stood there. Looking out. Hands empty. No envelope. No papers. Nothing to prove. Nothing to hold. Just space. And breath. Slow. Steady. Behind me. The house stayed quiet. In front of me. The night opened. I didn't go back to the table. Didn't check the phone. Didn't reopen anything. I just stood there. For a moment longer. Then turned. Walked down the hallway. Lights off. Door closed. And for the first time, there was no part of me left behind.